Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. And after 14 hours of lying on the floor, hey, I made myself a nice nest. I can sleep like pretty comfortably on floors and hopefully in the back of cars, which brings me to today's video. I'm a little bit excited. Okay, so I want to talk about a vision that I had in my bliss phase. Do you remember the bliss phase of your awakening when anything's possible and you feel fabulous? Yes. Oh, 2021. I could do anything in 2021. And did I have the manifestation power to bring in some of my greatest dreams? Yes. I was living out some fabulous dreams in 2021. I did a movie. I got myself an agent, living out a childhood fantasy to be an actress. I got myself a fancy agent in Toronto. And I landed myself a role in a movie that nobody will see. No, it's not that. And people have asked me why. What kind of movie is it? I'm like, no, it's not one of those kinds of movies. But I don't foresee it, hitting a blockbuster situation. But it was super fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I got to play a lawyer. I was like, it was very good. It was cool. It was very cool. I also, in and around that time, even though I was already starting to sink into, after my Kundalini, the Dark Night of the Soul, the purge had already begun. I did a stand-up comedy show. That was like awesome. Like, it was at a real bar with like strangers. It wasn't just in my living room in front of friends. It was a real comedy show. And I had so much fun doing that. And, of course, my topic was trauma. Yeah, well, if I can't laugh at some of this shit, like that's what keeps me sane. Or to some people's opinions, insane. Insane in the membrane. I also wrote the start of a manuscript, not my book, but a movie, okay, that I wanted to write. And one day, because anything's possible, one day I might finish that manuscript now that I have the rest of my awakening story to plug into that, and one day find some people who are graphic designers that want to do it with me, because I want it to be cartoon. I don't want it to be acted, but I'll need voice actors, really good voice actors, if that comes to place. So I was like living the dream, right? I was like fulfilling childhood fantasies. I was even part of a clique. I had the clique of cool kids. I was like, oh my God, it was so amazing. Until it wasn't. But when I had my Kundalini, September 25th, 2021, and we are coming up to the anniversary of that, when that happened, things started going really 5D. I was like in the 5D, man. My reality was 5D. I was so unattached from the 3D world. And I was like, I'm just gonna let go of everything, and I'm gonna build this dream. And I had these visions, lots and lots and lots of visions. I was gifted upon gifted with visions. Now, some of them were like scary, very revelations, end of the world kind of visions, which propelled me to really get more authentic with my YouTube channel. But other visions were adventurous visions of what I wanted to do, down the road. Of course, it didn't look exactly because when I get a vision, it's often symbolic sight, and it's often, like little mini movies, like a 10-second clip I'll see in my head, and I'll be like, how's that going to happen? How's that? So one of the visions that I had was me walking, because if you don't know already, I kind of coined the term aligned walking as a means to get my body into physical alignment. And so there is a body playlist and aligned walking videos, a plethora of those from years ago, because that's how I healed my body, was through pilgrimage, through walking in perfect alignment, like mountain pose and walking. Go check out those videos if your body's all wackadoodles and needs some healing. Walking. I'm walking on sunshine. Yes, so I am. So I had a vision of me walking with other people. There were people around me, so I wasn't in my hermit phase. I didn't even know my hermit phase was coming back then. I was walking and there was people around us, and we were wearing my logo on my t-shirt. So we were all in uniform in my t-shirt, walking, okay? And in front of us was a white van, and inside the white van were people on computers with a video camera on the side of the van tracking us and watching. And then there were like little kids running up to give me a hug. And I was like, where am I walking? And I looked around in my vision, and I was actually walking in Africa. No, I didn't have diamonds on the soles of my shoes, like Paul Simon sings about, but that's a great walking song. And I was walking because I was on a great pilgrimage. We, my collective, my soul tribe, and I were walking from the Cape of Africa, and I went and looked because it's the longest world in the road. There's a road that goes from the Cape of Africa all the way up into Russia. And I was like, we're walking. We're going for a wee walk, little peoples. So we were going on a great pilgrimage. And I was like, geez, that would take months, years. That would take actually years to walk that road. Like years and years and years. And I'm like, I want to do it. I want to do it. Because I'm a little bit, insane. Because I believe things are possible, that I can do it. This is the thing that woke up in me, is I was living in a shit show of a life that needed to be unfucked severely because it was brutal, I was overweight, I was sick, I was trapped in a narcissist's playground. I was being abused and gaslit and a zombie. I was a zombie. Those pharmaceuticals that they put me on only ever made me tolerate being abused. And I was living this life like, yeah, okay. Vibrational frequency 5, folks. Okay, so in the vibrational frequency chart, it goes up to 1,000, which is like bliss. I was living at level like 5, which is less than depression. Depression is like 20. I was living at a vibrational frequency of 5. I'm like, just kill me now. Because like, of course, I wasn't going to do that. I know the rules. So I was like, come on, please. Like, just hurry this on up. But the closer that I got to illness and disease, the more I was like, please, I don't want to, please God, save me. And God said, save yourself! Save yourself! And so I started out on a pilgrimage to save myself. And it started as a pilgrimage just around the block. And then it was around the neighborhood. And then I was walking 5K a day. Now, I've been walking 5K a day recently. No, got a sore knee, but I can heal that too. It's just taking a while. It's because it's forcing me to be in my rest era. Not my walking era. Not my pilgrimage era. My rest era. My rest era before the next pilgrimage era. And so this brings me to this vision. I was like, oh, I don't know how that's ever going to happen. There's 1,000,001 steps that needs to happen before that can happen. You know, I need to be free. I need to not have a house. I need to like not be married. I need to not be on alcohol. And I need to not be reliant on this, that, the other. I need to get my body in, you know, so it's been a process. It's been a process. And part of that process is learning to drive, you know, becoming adventurous, leaving your house. So yesterday marked my first solo drive, 3 hours. Hey, not a big deal for some of you, but for somebody who's been afraid of driving my whole entire life, it was a huge deal to me. Still got to drive it back, and it is definitely adding more fuel to the fire of me possibly going to Krippalo in July in the United States, leaving my country and going into the United States, which is huge as well for me, for my real next solar venture. But one of my warriors saw my video yesterday and was like, oh, congratulations, that's awesome. You know, it really motivates me to want to come to Canada, to speed up my trip to Canada, because we'd been talks about, yeah, it would be great for you to come to Canada. And then we got to talking a little bit more, and we got to talking about how it would be really great to do a road trip. And I was like, yeah, road trip sounds kind of cool. And in our discussions, we were talking about how it'd be really cool to go to Sedona, which is very far away from me. And so then for the fun of it, I went on ChatGPT and I'm like, yo, chat, if I were to go from Ontario to Sedona, where should I go? Like, what should my route be if I wanted to stop at really sacred sites, okay? And go on a proper sacred pilgrimage. And Chat came up with this, okay? So I'm going to let you guys in on what Chat came up with. Chat, leg 1, go to Ontario to Serpent Mound. So there's a place called Serpent Mounds that I know very little about, but it's called Serpent Mounds. I had a Kundalini. That's like, of course, where I'm going to start. I believe it's in Illinois. Yes, it's in Ohio. Sorry, it's in Ohio. So, yeah, I got to go there because it's an ancient serpent earthwork. I got to check in with the Mama Earth and the Kundalini energy. And I'm like, yeah, we need to go there because it represents transformation, rebirth, Kundalini, gentle opening to the pilgrimage. I'm like, sounds good. Leg 2, after we go to Serpent Mound, we're going to go to, and excuse my mispronunciation if I say it incorrectly, Cahokia? No. Cahokia mounds. Cahokia, maybe. And if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. Somebody can like phonetically tell me. Perhaps I should have gone on Google and got a phonetic pronunciation. But this is the largest ancient ceremonial center north of Mexico, which is my favorite place on earth. This sacred city is built over centuries and connects you to the deep North American history. Yes, connect me to my history, baby. Leg 3, from Cahokia into the Garden of the Gods. Yeah, I want to go to the Garden of the Gods, where we will find dramatic red rock formations, and get a first taste of the Southwest landscape. Beautiful hiking and grounding energies. So yes, Garden of the Gods sounds like a place I need to pilgrimage to. Leg 4, we go to Chaco, again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, Chaco Cultural Natural Historical Park, which has ancient ceremonial and astronomical influences, extraordinary night skies. Oh, yes. Deep silence and solitude, and often considered one of the most spiritually significant ancient sites of North America. Next, we go to Sedona. And I have been called to go to Sedona. I heard the call a long time ago that I would be going to Sedona. I want to go there. And this is where we have Red Rock Canyons, famous vortex locations. Okay, so it's one of the like energetic hotspots on the earth is Sedona. Great hiking, meditation, reflection, and there's a lot of spiritual community in Sedona. I also wouldn't mind getting baptized in Sedona. And just so you know, when I say baptized, I don't mean in any religious situation. And I did actually research this. You don't need to be part of a religion to be baptized. Anyone can baptize you. So I'm going to get one of my soul sisters to baptize me. Because yes, Jesus wasn't baptized into a church. In fact, he was leaving a church, right? So yeah, that's one of the things that's been on my to-do list. And then the next step, we go to Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a sacred mountain. It's got a lot of volcanic energy and alpine forest, less crowded and commercial than Sedona, but it's an excellent place for contemplation. Yes, okay. And then the leg 7, our final destination, because 7 is a sacred number, 7 places, is the Redwood National State Park. Because I want to go see those big, huge redwood trees. Because I can't think of anything better than grounding it in the company of 2,000-year-old trees. So we're talking about this, like early days, and I'm like, this is going to take weeks. You know, this isn't a short trip. This isn't like we're stopping and looking and taking a picture and moving on. We're going to stop at each place and take our time, because you just saw, it took me 14 hours to ground after driving as long as I did, only 3 hours. So there is going to be spiritual work that is going to have to like accompany this. And I'm talking to her and I'm like, what if this is a stepping stone towards other pilgrimage? What if this is our first of many pilgrimages, one of which will be eventually a pilgrimage in Africa, exactly like my vision? Maybe we should open this up to my spiritual warriors community and say, yo, dudes who have been awakening with me and have coming to the place where we're shifting energies. There's a lot shifting this year. We got the year of the fire horse action, right? We've been wanting to get galloping, and we've been like stuck in this little box that hasn't let us like get going, but we can feel it coming. We've got Chiron moving into Taurus. We've got the north nodes shifting again, and every 18 months. That's massive. We've got karmic cycles ending that have been going on for 6 years, starting in 2020, right around the time of my awakening beginning. You know, that was December 2019 is when I had my first call to wake up. And then it just progressed after that. So we've got all of this stuff starting to feel like this, and we are being expanded and pushed into a greater and bigger reality. And I'm like, hell's to the yes. Okay. Spirit said, you go get your driving license, and you go get this nice car instead of getting the Mini that my ego wanted a Mini, a little yellow Mini with lines on it. I wanted to drive a B car. Spirit was like, no, you need a reliable vehicle that you can sleep in the back in. I also looked at like old school VW van. I was like, yeah, man, I want a VW van. I want to live in a van down by the river. And we went and did a test drive of a van. I was like, I don't know nothing about cars. I think I need to have mechanical skills to drive a really old VW van. Besides which, it was like, like we weren't going anywhere fast. Even though it looked super pretty because it had been recently wrapped. But it was old. It was old school cool, you know. I wanted the old school cool. But that's an egoic thing. And I had to let go of that. And so I got the reliable Toyota vehicle that allows me to sleep in the back in case of bad weather. And that's what Spirit said. So I'm like, okay, pilgrimage. Do I have a date? No. But I have a goal. I have a dream. I got a dream, okay? I had a vision a long time ago, and I want to work towards it. So you see how everything is growing a little bit. Expansion this year. I'm doing a 3-hour journey, and I'm going to it's doing good. I got to drive home on, tomorrow. In July, I'm going to go to Croup Hollow. Now I'm 72% certain I'm going to go. I'm still nervous of the new moon energy, but at least I'll be in good company if I'm in the corner going, so I'm going to psych myself up for that. And I'll probably, when I get home, do a couple weeks of processing fears. Big time. And then in August, I have an event. I bought myself 2 tickets, even though I have nobody to go with. I bought myself 2 tickets to go spend a day at the Boomy Festival, where I'm going to finally be back in the company of hundreds of thousands of people. I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's quite large, but I don't normally people that much. That's a lot of people. I used to go to rock concerts, punk rock concerts. Montebello, miss those. They were amazing, with hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world, Mohawks, and it was my Mecca. It's what it was. It was my Mecca. But unfortunately, COVID killed it dead. But I absolutely loved it, and I loved being in a sea of freaks and weirdos and tattooed people, because they're the nicest people on earth, The scapegoats and the people that are on the fringe of society are so lovely. Those that blend in really well, I now go like this, Yeah, but who are you really? Yeah, you wear a really nice Gap shirt that's ironed perfectly, but who are you really behind that nice guy exterior or girl next door vibe? What's really happening egoically behind the mask, right? I know all about masks. But I loved going to those events because I felt very comfortable with people, because they weren't wearing masks. They were like, I'm a freak. This is me. Let your freak flag fly. And I loved it. And there was never any violence, and there was never any problems. Everybody was chilled out and relaxed. But my point being is that was when I could people. And then I've been in total isolation for so many years that going to this is my next test of what it's going to be like to be around a lot of people, handling the energy of a lot of people. Luckily, it's an outdoor festival, so if it gets too much, I'm just going to lie down. And if people are like, why is that chick laying down on the ground? I'm like, I'm just grounding, baby. At least it's a hippie festival with new age people, so that all I need to do is I'm just grounding. And they'll be like, oh, chill, man. So that's my next test. I got these tests that are coming up. And then we have my international test to go to Croatia with Gabor Mate. Once I've done all those things, I'm going to be I can take over the world. I can row to friggin' Hawaii on my own. Okay, maybe not that, because that would hurt my back. But I can do this shit. What is stopping me? I am going to live my life in alignment with the divine and go where I'm called to go. So yes, point being, let's pilgrimage, people. Let us create a convoy of individuals like myself that have gone through this crazy twin flame weirdo-ness. Me, this insane Kundalini awakening, This getting into alignment with soul and God, and woo, this purge of purification. Let's go. Let's band up. Let's commune as a collective, not just online, but in person, and bring our energy out into the world where it's needed. The land. Connect in with the land and the earth grids. The people, connect to the people, hug the people. The people need hugs. They need love, compassion, understanding, no more judgment. We've had enough of this judgment. Let's bring our messages of peace, love, compassion, understanding, trauma awareness. Let's go. So this is it's boarding call. This is my invitation. I am sending out an invitation to anyone that is interested in building this movement. See, the you movement requires movement. Let's actually physically move. Let's go places, people. When is it going to happen? I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be planning involved. At least a trip across the United States isn't going to require like great visas or anything like that, because, doing Africa is going to be much more complicated and difficult. So wouldn't it be useful to do one in a kind of safer way the first time out? You got to build up to the biggest of big goals, the most insane goals. People used to, no doubt, think that the Wright brothers who were building an airplane were totally insane. What do you mean? You can't fly? It's too much. What do you mean? You can't pilgrimage across the world? Go to every continent and pilgrimage? How are you going to live? What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? Well, hells, people have been pilgrimaging across this planet since the beginning. Since the very beginning. I don't know. Maybe we get sponsorship. Maybe a shoe company is like, what? You want to walk the longest place? Maybe a camping company is like, hey, use our tent. I don't know. I don't know all the answers. It's not up to me to know all the answers. It's just up for me to have this divine spark of ideas and get people excited about it. So yeah, if you want to go on this cross-country pilgrimage through the United States with me and film it and bring our love and light to the world, and you have a reliable vehicle, praise to God, please provide my peoples with reliable vehicles. You're not afraid to sleep under the stars. I can't wait for that. I'm very excited about my tent. I bought this hammock tent that has mesh all on top so that I could sleep underneath the stars at my place. And it's neat because it's got a zip, a line that holds the mosquito netting up. And as the wind blows, it was hitting my face. And I'm like, oh no, this will never do with my autism. I can't handle this. So me with my MacGyver brain, I like to MacGyver solutions. Okay. I like to MacGyver solutions for healing and practical solutions. So I'm like, I need a double length zip line. I need a doweling. I need little things to hold so that I can create a triangle so that I have a flat roof that comes down. So I have yet to set it up. I've got all the parts at home I've ordered to MacGyver and create this diamond shaped tent so I can sleep under the stars. I'm very excited. As soon as I get a really hot night, I'm like, yeah. So yeah, if you don't have a problem with that and you can work in a community with people, that's going to be a challenge for us all, because we'll be like, I'm used to being alone and this person never shuts up. So we have to learn all the new skills of problem solving and communication and healing work. So yes, Basically, we're at the day 1 stage of brainstorming. We've got an itinerary. We don't have a time of when this is going to go down. Within the next year from now, sometime would be great. We all need some camping supplies, sleeping bag. We all need a vehicle that we can go in, and we can go and do it. Let's just do it. We're here to make change, and I can't think of anything better or more exciting than having adventures. I had to get over certain fears to be able to get to the excitement part. And of course, there's going to be fears along the way, as well as some practical questions, like where do I put all my stuff? Do I put it into storage? I don't know. Maybe that's what I do. What do I do with my cat? Do I bring my cat with me? Will she like it? Can she learn to be an adventure cat? Right now, she's a scaredy cat. What would she like to do? I'm going to have a discussion with her about it. I think I'd like to bring her. Why not? Why not? She can learn. There's other cats that learn to be adventure cats. She just needs to face her fears. I'll help her face her fears. Maybe you have fears of driving. Well, we can overcome those fears. Fears of leaving your state or your city. Have you never left your state or city? Maybe it's time to venture forth and return to the way of our original peoples, which was to travel, to commune, to meet cultures. I want to do it. Now, it may seem like a lofty goal, but it's not impossible, right? It's not like I'm asking to climb Mount Everest with 0 hiking ability. No, we're going to do little things along the way. So you've got time. If you haven't learned to drive, learn to drive. If you haven't learned to camp, learn to camp. If you haven't, learned to go without food for a period of time in case, we go through a dry spell, I don't know, learn to do that too. I'm not saying we're going to go through any dry spells, but, fasting is part of this awakening process. So learn to fast. Maybe there's going to be a stretch that you're like, I need to fast. Well, I'm on this 3-day leg during Sedona. I don't know. You're going to learn to listen to your intuition. You're going to learn many life lessons along the way. Who's in? Who's badass enough and crazy enough to live life to the full? To the absolute full. I am. I am not going to let anything stop me from having the most experiences that I can have in this life. And I've had all the shitty ones. It's time for some good ones. Even if the good ones are scary and pushing me well out of my comfort zone. So yes, I am setting up in my mind's eye the intention that I would like to pilgrimage around the world. Around the world. Around the world, around the world. I want to go around the world. I want to go to New Zealand and see my friends there. I want to go to Australia and see my friends there. I want to go to Europe and see my friends there. I want to go to Wales in the British Isles. I want to go and check out Iceland. I want to go. Who wants to go with me? Let's do it. Let's pilgrimage. Let's go to the sacred sites all around the world and light it up. Let's light it up. Let's bring peace and love all over the world. Sure, I know there's naysayers out there. I can already hear them. How are are you going to do this? And how are you going to do that? And my answer to you is, I don't know yet. I just had the idea like an hour ago. Give me time. I'll figure it out. I'll MacGyver solutions to where solutions need to be made. That's what I do. I am a problem solver. And the problem was my life was crap and I had to unfuck that. And now my next problem is I need to get myself to Sedona. One problem at a time. Okay? One problem at a time. And if it's in alignment with God, well, then it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. The money will come. From where? I don't know. It'll come. The answers will come. The directions will come. The guidance will come. So yes, if you're just mad enough to want to do this with me, get in touch with me. Get in touch with me. I will set up a separate group on Telegram, and I'm going to have to come up with like a fun little name and a fun little logo, and I'm excited. I want it. I can taste it. I can taste freedom. I can taste adventure. I can taste laughter. Oh. Who's in? Peace. Peace in.